Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, if you're in the UK, you probably woke up this morning to a huge blanket of snow, a pure whiteout. It was 30 Days of Night meets Outpost 31. So, straight away I thought, right, let's do this. Get all your McCready gear together, go outside with your favourite bottle of J&B, a few sticks of dynamite, your computer chess, and sit outside in the snow, and wait for Childs to arrive and have a big stalemate. Well, that was the plan. And then, of course, things happened. Because when snow hits the UK, the trains and all, transport services grind to a halt, which they did. And then you had to wait while the schools open. My daughter was going to school. At the last minute, no, message comes through. The schools are shut as well. But my son, who works in Liverpool, with the River Mersey to cross, obviously the ferries weren't running. And even to get down to the ferry would have been perilous because it was literally snowdrifts everywhere. My wife works in Chester. That's many, many miles away, across motorways, treacherous in this kind of weather. She gets a text off the bosses saying, don't bother coming in, don't worry about it. Obviously, I still work from home, so I went going nowhere. And then my son, in his absolute dedication to duty and due diligence, basically because he's got a job he loves, he works for Sony PlayStation, he plays games all the time, gets paid mega bucks for it. The jammy bastard. And I'm gonna go. I said, how are you gonna get over there? What, you've got a helicopter gonna fly past? Is McCready gonna fly over and pick you up and drop you off in Liverpool? No. But he looked at the windows and unbelievably, there was a bus running. So he ran himself and he caught that bus. He caught what must have been the only bus running from the Wirral to Liverpool. And he got it when he got to work because he loves his job. I am impressed. Now, so Kilt-Man, you ask, where is that McCready video you were going to do? Sitting in the snow and all that. The authentic snow with your authentic thing dog, the husky Roxy, sitting there beside you. Would have been ideal. Well, because of all this delays and stuff, what happened? The sun came out. Yes, that great big bright golden orb in the sky. Blazing sunshine, perfectly blue skies, and the snow began to melt. And I don't mean like, slow, drip, drip, slow. It's rivers of snow is just flooding everywhere. It's come out like fucking Saharan sun, and it's melted a whole bloody lot away. Well, there's still plenty of it, but it would have ruined the effect. When I first got up, it was still snowing. I'll get the chair out and I'll sit there next to our beer barrel, and I'll have sticks of dynamite. I'll have the flamethrower. I'll have the big silly hat on. The whole works. I'll put the voice on as best I can, and have loads of fun. Lesson to us all there. Seize the moment. Seize it when you see something, a flash of inspiration. Act on it right away. Because I let it pass and I've blown it now. Now the weather apparently, according to the latest reports, is it's meant to change again. It's gonna do a bit of a swapperoo, and it's gonna go from blazing Saharan sunshine to another beast from the east and Siberian attack of pure whiteout, apparently. So if that does happen, I've got me doubts at the moment. It's very hard to see how that's going to change right now. I've had to shut the curtains because it's really, really blazing down. But and if you hear like a big crunch and a thud, that's huge swathes of snow coming off the battlements and sliding down, hitting the deck. But if it does change, then I will endeavour to do a McCready video. As you can see, I'm already wearing his undergarments, beneath the flight suit and that fabulous G1 flight jacket. So I was gonna, it'd be written on my tombstone, I was gonna, ... And then there'd be a list of a million things underneath. I was gonna do this. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Anyway, life goes on. So, what have we got? What, pray tell then, is all the black hole and warped space-time paraphernalia doing around me? Well, and we're playing John Barry's gorgeously, overly symphonic and beautifully eerie and bombastic score for 1979's, from Disney, The Black Hole, a film I have covered before. And I love it to bits. It's Disney's darkest hour. Disney's now gone very dark because Disney, the House of Mouse, owns Marvel and Walking Dead and fucking everything. It just seems to own everything, doesn't it? And so there's no taboo left unbroken by the House of Mouse. But back in the day, they took on board two projects around about the same sort of time as well. One would be The Black Hole, the other being Dragon Slayer. Both very dark movies. I've yet to give Dragon Slayer, another favourite of mine, the full kilted treatment. I've threatened to do it many times and never got round to it. But luckily on the horizon, there is a 4K UHD release of Dragon Slayer. So I will wait. I will bide my time for that. But, so The Black Hole, I've already set it in stone. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Genius movie. But why now am I talking about it again? Well, guys, you see all the canvas artwork around you. A canvas over there from our good friend Steve W7 Smith. You know him, you love him. I've still got a bit of frostbite in my lips. So they're getting stuck to my teeth. And he sent that fantastic Black Hole canvas a while ago. Now, he sends stuff to me with little clues, as you know. Regular viewers know this. But we have another Super Channel contributor. You know him. You love him. Astradyne, a traveller in time. Astradyne, your friend and mine. And he lives down in probably even snowier Cardiff. And he normally sends great big crates of stuff. Crates which you just haven't got a clue. But there's always fashion, t-shirts, sweatshirts, vests. There's music, there's CDs, there's vinyl, there's movies. UHDs, steel books, DVDs, there's action figures, there's merch, tons of cult paraphernalia, and it takes me hours to go through it all. Well, he sent something today. Well, it arrived actually the other day. It's taken me till today to actually get around to opening it. And it's there, but it's only a small box. It's like a baby box, it's a wee box. And going along with the thing sort of idea, as opposed to The Black Hole, this will all come clear in a minute, don't worry. I'm going round the houses as usual. He always packages up these crates with references to Outpost 31. Like the package has come from him via Antarctica and it's been shipped by McCready and then airdropped in. And today would have been ideal. I would have liked to open that sitting in the snow. Well, actually I wouldn't, because I don't know what's in there. I might damage it in a big blizzard. But anyway. So, he doesn't normally send clues as to what's in the box because there's so many different things there. But this time he did. He sent a clue. And in the form of some emojis, which were very robotic looking. And I thought, and now after a couple of days, we were speaking yesterday, messaging each other. And I said, I'm just going back through I'm going to open that box. And obviously, I got delayed again in the actual unveiling. But anyway, doing it now. So I went back through the clues, the emojis. I said, looking at your emojis now, and I think I might have sussed something on here. And he put down, he basically labelled it completely for me. He put down the actual catalogue name of the biggest black hole, or the newest black hole that's been discovered. And Ton 168, is it? Something like that. And I thought, oh, but it's the Black Hole. And he put little robotic things. The Black Hole has, of course, Vincent, voiced by Roddy McDowall, Old Bob, voiced by Slim Pickens, both uncredited, and Maximilian, where is he? There. Maximilian, who's the bodyguard for the deranged, obsessional scientist who runs the big space gothic cathedral of the Cygnus, long missing, poised on the brink of a black hole. And although he's played by Maximilian Schell, with big beard and crazy mad professor hair, he has a bodyguard called Maximilian. It always seemed very odd that he called him after the actor's name, but hey. So his clues, robots, and the fact that there was the black hole category number there. It's the black hole is going to be in that box. Hopefully it isn't in there. Like the Large Hadron Collider or the TARDIS. I'll open the box and I'll fall into an entirely new dimension. and you'll see it all live on camera. You'll be coming with me. We'll break that metal wall and you'll come with me. So that's, well, it's definitely something to do with the black hole is in that box. Now, if you look up here, the not Disney, what are they called? Diamond Select toy range, who do fantastic figures, released Vincent and old Bob in a double pack with a diorama and a backing piece and loads of extra features. Now, Astradyne sent me those many moons ago, and I have the little Funko version of Maximilian there. Now, Astradyne did hint quite some while ago that, oh, I found a big robotic friend, you know, and the way he worded it was kind of a bit more abstract, but I thought, you've got Maximilian for us, haven't you? And that, folks, is what I'm saying is in that box. And I hope it is, because I've long wanted that Maximilian figure. And because he hinted a while ago that it could be there, it could be on the way, but a few months have gone by, I've not bought it, you see, so I'm hoping it's in there. Oh, I could be wrong. Oh, mate, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you've really kind of given the game away. And I can't think of anything else, the black hole wise, that, you know, you could do, or who wouldn't kill for a big scale Cygnus, model version, because it is such a gothic steampunk super space structure. It's all like with an exoskeleton, and when it lights up, because it's floating dead when the USS Palomino, crewed by our heroes, including the great Ernest Borgnine, Robert Forster, Yvette Mimeo, and Psycho Anthony Perkins, and Joseph Bottoms. Or was it Timothy Bottoms? It's somebody Bottoms anyway. And Vincent, voiced by Roddy McDowell, as I say. When they discovered it, it's just a black shape floating on the brink, poised on the vortex of a huge black hole. But they've developed a system which can withstand the gravitational pull. But he wants to go through anyway, and he's waiting. He's been sending probes through the black hole to find out what's on the other side. And inevitably, for a film that's actually quite dark and sinister, they do go through, and some characters will go to a literal version of hell. It is like Event Horizon. Event Horizon actually kind of took this idea on board and went even further with it. But for a Disney movie in that time, it's very, very dark, very grim, very gothic. It's wonderful, and I love it. What? Open the box. I'm with you, folks. Yeah, I'll get the box for you now. Right. See, this is literally a mini version. This is like the drop ship that the huge crates that he sends would shoot out from itself. A little drop ship, a little drone. That's what this feels like. Now, when I first got it, something inside rattled. It's not rattling anymore. It's found a little resting place and it's settled. So I don't know. I've took the address off there. And as usual, it's massively sealed in with the wild supply of gaffer tape. But it says, from Outpost 31, Antarctica. There is a strange phone number on there. I'm not going to show that. To Kilt Mansion, it says packed by Norris, 2023. Norris from The Thing, of course, whose head splits off and becomes a spider head, whose chest opens up to become a big mouth chest and bites off Dr. Copper's arms. But, so there could be Thing stuff related in here as well. There often is. But I know for a fact that we only get a slew of stuff, magazines and books and music and, as I say, t-shirts and things to do with all the movies and the TV stuff that we know and love. Ski and Do, John Barry, and a big black hole. Okay, right. We're going in, folks. Incision has been made. Oh, hang on. It's all right. What's going on here? don't want to push too far because, you know, you could plunge in and totally destroy something. Are you guys ready? Because if what I suspect is in here, oh, you might get to fight the little version, but the big version. Oh, God. And there should be a ton of bubble wrap in here as well. Well. Okay. Lots of bubble wrap. There's a little something there, which is just... I have no idea what that is. It's some kind of sort of, I don't know, space fantasy eel type thing on a little base. Oh God, am I meant to know what that is? I don't know what it is. Was it you that was rattling around in there? Got a strange little big open maw for a face. Or has the head come off? Maybe the head's come off it. Don't know what that is, but thanks anyway. Let's oh, hang on. There's a badge. It's the happy smiling face. Happy smiling face that we see in The Howling. Of course. Well, it's like a Mr. Man face, isn't it? But that smiley face, usually with a yellow background, is seen a lot in Joe Dante's terrific film, The Howling. Is that a clue as well? We've got something of a werewolf fashion in here. Ooh. There's magazines, there's bubble wrap, and there's a covering here. There's something big lurking in some kind of plastic action figure style casement. It's Maximilian! There he is. Oh, I've got a better view on this side. It's Maximilian in the box. Look at that. That great big gleaming bastard of a robot who has spinning spikes of which he absolutely eviscerates and disembowels Anthony Perkins, who's crazy professor himself, crazy Dr. Durant, kind of falls in love with the even madder Dr. Hans Reinhardt, Maximilian Schell, and his plan to go through. But then he discovers that the entire crew aren't just humanoid robots. They are the humanoid remnants of the original crew who mutinied against Dr. Hans Reinhardt, rebelled against him, and he had them sort of killed and then made into these grim, sad, solitary, lonely, dying humanoids, one of whom is Dr. Kate's father, long missing father. Kate, played by Yvette Mimeo from The Time Machine. You think I knew that was in there? I guessed it was in there. Because Astradyne, you pretty much gave it away, didn't you? Really, there wasn't a lot of sleuthing that took place here. But, my God. So, Diamond Select. Let's show you all. By the way, I'm not going to get this open here now. I'm not going to do that. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to open that at my leisure and then do a video on those two figures and this guy himself. Big proper videos for them, because I've been asked to do videos on these because I've had them in the background so many times. People keep coming, oh, will you do a video on those? Look great. And I go, yeah, I will do. Well, now I bloody well will. But I'll just show you. Look at that Maximilian in that sort of maroon, burgundy, sort of, is it off claret colour. And he's battle damaged. He's battle damaged. He's kind of scarred. Got his arms. There's another head. I didn't know he had another head. There's loads of stuff for those guys. He's got, all right, from what I can see there, he's got like sort of spinning, the claws that spin around and kill Anthony Perkins. He's got like a version of those. I'll show you them. Obviously, when I open this, I'll do a proper review of it. There's some kind of like electricity bolts sort of things as well. But what's the second head? He just has this almost like glowing red visor piece, and his and like the Cylons in Battlestar Galactica, the original Cylons, where he went wong, wong, wong. It just glows demonic red. So what's, oh, hang on a minute. It's when they go through the black hole, he, in a very surreal, bizarre fashion, melds with his creator, Dr. Hans Reinhardt, and in this Dante-esque inferno, they coalesce, and then you see a spinning Maximilian, but you look into the visor, and it's Hans Reinhardt's eyes. Maximilian's shell is inside, like Robert Downey Jr. inside the Iron Man costume. They've melded, and he's now got inside it, and I can see that there's eyes and a nose in that other head. Well, I didn't know that. That's clever, isn't it? Oh, there's a fucking picture of it on the back of the box as well. There's me thinking, oh, I've sussed that. It's fucking there. Oh, Astradyne, mate. You knew I wanted this. You knew I wanted it. Now, what happens? Collector's action figures with accessories and diorama. Now, the diorama of this will fit with the diorama that comes with those two, because they came together in the same pack. So that should be great to put it all together, because otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, you guys are in trouble. Here's the full-size bastard. Let's get you up there. Let's see. Are you going to stay on there, not falling off? See that? Yeah, there we go. That'll do there. Little black hole shrine. I have the novelisation by Alan Dean Foster for the black hole. I've shown you that on video. And I did a video on all the Alan Dean Foster, the prolific Alan Dean Foster, and all his novelisations of great movies, including The Thing. He did The Thing as well. And unbelievably, the spook of this house must have known and it's took it away. Can't find it. I could find everything else to do with the black hole, but I couldn't find that. So, what have we got in here? Kilt-Man. Right. Well, this is soft. This has got to be fashion. T-shirt, vest, lingerie. Is, ooh, it's a shirt. It is, let's see, oh, hello. It is a T-Rex playing a keyboard. Is it meant to be T-Rex themselves? A T-Rex playing a keyboard. Astradyne has a band and has been involved in the creation of 80s style synth prog rock music for a long time. He even sent me a synthesizer, which I still can't figure out how to really use and what to plug it into. And I'm been really bad with this. And I've got some friends who are musicians. Oh, I'll come round and do it for you. I'll set it up for you. But it hasn't happened yet. Still waiting. But he sent me a synthesizer as well. Look at that. I'm not sure. Is that meant to be a band's emblem? I don't want to come across as completely stupid. Bit late for that. That's great though. I like it. Wonderful, wonderful. There's more yet. There's oh, hang on. There's a little piece of strange blue plastic which goes with this little bit of strange blue plastic. So I think what we... Oh, has that actually snapped off? Or is there another piece? Oh, yeah. It's on. What is it then? It's a snake-like eel type thing. But very wiggly. I don't know, is it from anything? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It likes to throw these little bits in there which confuse the hell out of me for ages. We've got some magazines. Oh yes. Oh yes. We have... Oh, they're all glossy, so it's going to glitch out the ring light. We have Dark Side, The Dark Side, Bryce's magazine, with fabulous artwork by the great Rick Melton. I've spoken to these guys a fair bit. What's this? Summer of Fear. Elkie meets Baron Blood. That's Mario Barber, Baron Blood. And that's, oh God, what's his name? Not Herbert Lom. Oh, who plays him? Oh, I can't remember now. Don't believe it. But always features very voluptuous women. Rick Melton's obsession with the ladies is legendary. And I mean, look, here's some more of his artwork there. Look at that. And Rick's got his own book coming out of erotic movie art. Good luck with that. So, oops. Psychomania. Another old 60s style classic bizarrity of demonic bikers. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Paul McAvoy previews new genre titles and checks out some of the best home video and streaming titles. So what have we got? Night of the Living Dead. Not exactly new. 1968. And Carrie. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The Frighteners, of course. Peter Jackson's fabulous, really Leviathan movie. You know what Peter Jackson's like, with Michael J. Fox playing and as a detective. Hang on, is he detective? It's been a long time since I've seen it. And it's all set in New Zealand. Or it's filmed in New Zealand, but is it set in America? I can't remember. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll read about it. Another wow release from Germany is this behemoth of a box set from Turbine Media. Following his early low-budget, brilliant splatter-filled works Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles and Brain Dead, Peter Jackson turns slightly more serious with Heavenly Creatures. Yeah, it's actually a good film, that. In 1984, and Forgotten Silver in 1995. He followed those in 96 with The Frighteners, featuring Michael J. Fox as an exorcist of evil spirits in a supernatural mystery. But despite some positive reviews, the film sadly failed to set the box office alight. Perhaps the world just wasn't ready for its mix of comedy and horror at this time. You've got R. Lee Ermey playing the ghost of a Marine drill instructor in the graveyard, kicking ass, like, and it is a wonderful movie. And you've got Reanimator himself. Oh God, forgot his name. Oh God, what's his name? It must say. Oh, it doesn't. The guy that played Reanimator, Herbert West. He's in From Beyond, and oh God, and I almost had his name then. Almost had it. Oh, it'll come to me later. But what else in there? Kim Newman, the great Kim Newman, reviewing stuff again. Looks like the Beatles, actually. It's Help from the Beatles. Dracula in Istanbul. What's this? Did you know that Bram Stoker's blood-sucking count pitched up in Turkey in 1953? Barry McCann gets his teeth into the first film to portray Dracula with fangs. Aha, yeah, because he hadn't been seen with fangs before that guy adopted it. They're very wonky looking fangs, mate. Turkish fangs. People go out to Turkey to get their teeth done. It's called turkey teeth. And they get them whitened and straightened, and it costs thousands, but it's cheaper to do it there than anywhere else. Obviously, this guy's not a good advert for it, with his wonky fangs. Oh my God, Young Frankenstein, Mel Brooks, Gene Wilder. Oh God, what a fantastic movie. One day I'm going to cover that properly. Marty Feldman. Oh God, Peter Boyle as the monster. Terry Garr. Oh, it's just an outstanding movie. Such a classic homage to the original James Whale, Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. Audrey Rose, Anthony Hopkins. Oh, Maddie Smith and Ingrid Pitt, the late great Ingrid Pitt. I've met her, don't you know? Yeah, Baron Blood. Let's try and get the bloody guy's name. What's his name? Oh God. Oh. Joseph Cotton. The American actor, Joseph Cotton. Bizarrely, like a lot of actors, whether they're British or American, tend to have a little phase. Actors from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s tended to drift into Italian horror. So many of them did it. Christopher Lee did it. For God, he spent decades doing it. It's funny how a lot of them did make their sojourn, pay their dues to the Italian splatter genre. Fantastic. Dark Side is awesome. And alongside that, we have their sister magazine, which is Cult TV and Sci-Fi Infinity. Again, Brycey, and again, Rick Melton. Wonderful stuff. Let's have a look at this, see what we've got in here. Oh! And I've been talking about this, the $6 Million Man versus Sasquatch versus Bigfoot. The original Bigfoot in the first season he was in it, was played by Andre the Giant. Then in the later season, Return of Bigfoot, he's played by Ted Cassidy, who was also Lurch. And they're brilliant. But that first encounter that Steve Austin has with Bigfoot is outstanding. It's genuinely terrifying. Oh, I've been meaning to cover that specific episode and story. Even the great John Saxon's in that as well. He's one of the aliens, because Bigfoot's not like a Sasquatch. He's actually a robot, which they use. But it's great though. Oh my God. And of course, as it all develops, Steve Austin becomes friends with Bigfoot. Oh, hello. Carrying up the Khyber. And Dan, the lavatory man from Carry On Screaming. Like Young Frankenstein, another fantastic horror comedy. Wow. It is Bigfoot. He looks bloody terrifying, doesn't he? Look at him. Oh. God, it's awesome. I used to have the Action Man figures. It's Action Man sized, Action Man, which you can see there with Oscar Goldman. But I never did get that figure of the Sasquatch of I mean, the show calls him Bigfoot, but the aliens call him Sasquatch. You know, and he ordered him, they command him, Sasquatch, kill. You know, and but I had the Steve Austin. He pull his sleeve back, and he could fold back a piece of plastic to show the wirings inside his arm and all that, like, and I think one in his leg. But you had a guy called Maskatron. A Maskatron. There was it a story called the Fembots, where they were like android women of super strength. I can't remember now. But Fembots sounds like some kind of sanitary tool, doesn't it? From the women's shelf. And but Maskatron, he could take his face off, and it was all like circuitry and wiring on the inside. A bit like when they take the in the black hole, they take the silver visors off these humanoid workers on the Cygnus. When you take it off, it's like just like these bizarre dead, lobotomized faces. And but you could swap. You could put Steve Austin's face on him. You could put Oscar Goldman's face on him, to try and confuse your Steve Austin doll that it wasn't really Maskatron, even though the rest of the body was completely different. But wonderful stuff. God, I loved that. $6 Million Man. Surprisingly violent. He kicks severe ass out of gangs and drug dealers and stuff like that, and mafioso. It's Minder, Dennis Waterman, and George Cole. That was a classic of its time. Oh, Julian Glover. Always plays a great, smarmy, slimy bastard, doesn't he? Of course, he's in Empire Strikes Back, in one of the walkers. He faces off against Bond. And he's in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So what are we reviewing in this? Avatar: The Way of Water. Load of shite, folks. The Final Program. Oh, great. Not seen that for a long time. Wednesday. That's the TV show, isn't it? Wednesday, which I haven't seen any of. Invaders from Mars, and I think it's the original one, judging by that picture there. It's the original Invaders from Mars, which is good, but it's got a classic status in as far as cult sci-fi movies are concerned. But it is kind of hokey, and the low budget really does come through. But there's a lot of imagination there, and it is spectacularly eerie as well, and I do like it. Battle of the Worlds, never heard of it. What is that? With Claude Rains, Earth spaceships in a death battle with flying saucers from an enemy planet. Battle of the Worlds in all new fantastic colour. I've never heard of it at all in my life. Megan, isn't that like an Android thing? That's the new film Megan with the little, the girl, sinister girl thing. I've had people recommend that to me, but I've not actually watched it as yet. So Megan. Ooh, the poster is Time After Time with David Warner playing Jack the Ripper. What's his face from Clockwork Orange? playing H.G. Wells. Malcolm McDowell, that's the one. And Mary Steenburgen. What else have we got here? Star Wars stuff. People signing for avid fans. Something here of a gothic nature. The Unfinished Mystery of Murder Rooms Part 2. Mike Hankin concludes his two-part feature on the dark beginnings of Sherlock Holmes. That looks interesting. Oh, here's Time to Time. There's Malcolm McDowell in his time machine. There's David Warner, the great David Warner, as, can you see him, as Jack the Ripper. He goes into the future and after his reign of terror in Whitechapel, and obviously Malcolm McDowell goes after him. It is great. Malcolm McDowell as H.G. Wells. Great stuff. Right. Oh. And we have a Scream magazine. This is a great magazine as well. The world's #1 horror magazine. Is that not what Darkside calls itself? The magazine of the macabre in the future. I'm sure they used to call themselves the #1 horror magazine. But no, apparently it's this one. So in Scream, we've got Dracula has Risen from the Grave, which I gave a massive feature-length review for. Go check that out. Love it. Jonathan Rigby, the great Jonathan Rigby, revisits a Hammer classic. Well, you don't even need that. You can go and watch on the Kilt-Man channel. All warts and all. That's it. No stone unturned. Hellraiser. Well, Halloween 2. I mean, if it's the original Hellraiser, we're fine. If it's that fucking thing from last year, Jesus Christ. Halloween 2, which is the original Halloween 2, not Rob Zombie's. Friday the 13th, in the Jason Voorhees movies. Let's just go through this. Dracula has Risen from the Grave. I think it's a great movie. I had a wonderful time with that. Yeah, so I'm not going to labour the point. There's quite a big feature on here. Jesus, page after page. Frankenstein's monster. Who was better built in the role, Karloff or Lee? Boris has more building blocks to play with, but is Christopher being stitched up? It's a tough one. So like Frankenstein's monster himself is a patchwork quilt. They've spliced them together. Boris Karloff, Christopher Lee. Boris Karloff for Universal, of course, for James Whale, 1931, and Christopher Lee for 1958 or 57's Curse of Frankenstein for Hammer, Terence Fisher. And it is, they're both wonderful films. What do I prefer? Well, that is a tough one, that. I think I prefer Karloff. I think so. And I've got masks for both of these guys. The mask for that guy and the mask for the original Boris Karloff. Such iconic imagery. Both brilliant performances. But I think really you've got Karloff, I think they said more building blocks there. Karloff actually has a lot more to give. And he's also in several movies as well, you know, finalising the character and giving more depth to him. But Lee only has one version to work with, but he still does it really well. An interview with Lamberto Bava, Demons 2, The Last Survivor. What's that? Mondo Cannibal. Cannibal. More cannibal stuff. There it is, Lamberto himself, Lamberto Bava. Lamberto playing with his snake. Naughty. Lamberto. VHS ate my brain. So they're going through some old movies on VHS. The dawn of the age of videos and video nasties. But you know, some of these films are not, they're not as classics now. Blood on Satan's Claw, anybody? I know, it was more of a TV thing than it was a video. People I knew when I was growing up and into horror movies, you watched Blood on Satan's Claw on TV and you taped it then. No one I knew ever rented it. I've covered that as well, by the way. Rogue Games, Stacey Keach and Jamie Lee Curtis. Filmed in Australia. It's not that good a movie, actually. The Switchblade Sisters, not to be confused with Switchblade Romance or Haute Tension. Alone in the Dark, that's not very good, I have to say. Halloween 2, Rick Rosenthal, but we all know it was Carpenter who pulled all the strings on this, even though he didn't want to do it. Fantastic stuff. And there's, blood tears. It's good shooting that. Jamie Lee Curtis manages to shoot him in both eyes. Sorry I left you. No, get away from him! But he stopped breathing. No, he hasn't. Look. And then Myers just stands up like that, having walked through a plate glass hospital door. I do love Halloween 2. Behind the Screams, the latest news and gossip from the world of horror. Dinosaurs, Werewolf by Night director remaking them. Oh yeah, I've covered that. One of my favourite creature features of all time is the original 1950s giant ants invasion. Them! Exclamation mark. I've covered it a lot. I've done a video commentary for it as well. And Michael Giacchino, who's the composer turned film director, who did Werewolf by Night, he is doing them as well. Although, I've got a feeling, when did this come out? Because I've not heard any more news about that after my initial reports on it. It was meant to be proceeding, but whether this gives us any more, I'm not going to read it right now. But again, Wednesday, yeah, the TV show, which everyone loves, which I haven't looked at all. Cannibal Holocaust always seems to crop up. Cannibal Holocaust. Hannibal Holocaust. Friday the 13th, the many chapters of horror franchise. Well, I do love a lot of Friday the 13th, but if we had the full uncut versions of all these movies, then I'd be really made up. But I know I keep getting asked to do all the movies in the franchise. I don't want to. The first 3 I think are great, and then 4 with Tom Savini's effects and the machete falling down his own machete, which is great. Corey Feldman shaving his head very quickly. How long does he have to put his young Jason Voorhees disguise on to distract Jason from killing the babysitter, whoever it is? In fact, oh God, there it is. There it is. Him coming down, gliding down the machete, his own machete, and skewering himself. And there's the great face that Savini created. It is wonderful. But yeah, it goes on and on and on and on. And it's going to go on even further. There's going to be a lot more crisis. A lot of coverage there. Oh, and then we get to Hellraiser. The great Doug Bradley as Pinhead. And this is the original, yeah. The Sadian Gothic. It is wonderful. There's the evil brother, the one who sets in motion the events of the movie. Doesn't he look like Aidan Turner? He does. He looks like Aidan Turner. He isn't Aidan Turner. I forgot what his name is, but he does look like him. And Julia, Andy Robinson. Jesus wept. It is wonderful. Have I covered Hellraiser? I think sadly I covered the 2022 reboot. Fucking travesty that was. Absolute tripe. This looks like, what does it look like? Christmas Cruelty. Oh, what's hot in the world of DVD, Blu-ray, streaming and download? Two Witches. No. Ju-On, The Grudge Collection. Yeah. Christmas Cruelty. I never heard of it. Nightmare at Noon. Never heard of it. Well, it's got George Kennedy in it, by the looks of things. Oh dear. Ghostface. See, there's another franchise I'm really not arsed about. Scream. And this Scream 6, is it? It opened a couple of nights ago. I know someone who saw it and said it was absolute crap. And he's a massive Scream fan, and he said it's awful. He said he hated Scream 5, but that was acres better than this. He said something about why they gone to New York. It was gone from Woodsboro to New York for this one, like Jason Takes Manhattan, which I believe is referenced in the movie as well. Oh, by the way, spoilers. But as she says there, spoiler alert. But these are, again, a bunch of typical teens, all posy, pouty bastards, and like the whodunit, what's going on. But I just can't be arsed with it. Just can't be arsed. Yeah, Scream, however they've done it there. Scream 6. Of course, this magazine would have to cover it. It's called Scream, isn't it? Just remembered. Oh, books. Horror book review. Oh, great. Not many magazines or anything really covers books these days and reviews books. Being an author myself of Twisted Tales, and there's a book there called The Twisted Ones. What? Copyright. I need to get back into writing. I had Twisted Tales volumes 1 and 2, and other short stories were published in other sort of magazines and things, and it was going pretty well for a very short time. Really had grandiose ideas, but then family and other things, career took over. You know, you shouldn't live your life by, oh, if only I'd coulda, shoulda, woulda. See, again. I'm going to go back to writing. Right, what's this? A disgusting supermarket of death. Native fear. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Imaginary friend. When the corn is waist high. Horseman. A Tale of Sleepy Hollow. Straight away, I'm going to be looking at that one when I get the chance. Curse of the Reaper. Don't fear the Reaper. These must be connected. Don't move. Our share of night. I don't know. And what's that? I don't know. This is how your world ends. Big toothy gob. So, I don't know. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. We're not over yet, by the way. Oh God, there's someone else in there. We have a magazine on special forces. Right. Okay, let's have a look, see what's in here. Oh, vehicles, lots of vehicles. AI and robots of future war. Will you need soldiers in the future? You always will. Why? Because they're expendable. Special forces around the world, right? A lot of people are rising from water with assault weapons and Obama, what's he on about here? The compound, Operation Neptune Spear in Pakistan. The SEALs are involved in that. Of course, you know what that is. Right, and the guys that did dump the body of Bin Laden at sea. Oh, Mark Billingham. SAS men who become TV stars. Oh dear Lord, what's that? That's rather nasty. I won't show you that. People burning the American flag. Oh, it's Delta Force, of course. And I mentioned this recently about Delta Force and the Operation Eagle Claw, where they went to rescue the students from Tehran and they ended up crashing their helicopters together, resulting in many, many deaths of their own and a complete failure of the mission. And it was their first mission as well. Based along the lines of SAS, Colonel Charles Beckwith came over and studied with the SAS. There's Sean Bean playing Andy McNabb, not his real name. I know his real name. I don't think I can say it though. I have done before. I don't think I'm supposed to do that, so I better not. So these are all a lot of the Falklands, SAS and SBS heavily involved in that pre the invasion. They were bringing in all the airstrikes and targeting and sighting all the different. Here's the Iranian embassy, which is a fantastic operation, absolute glowing success. That Princess Gate. Right, this is a good magazine. Oh, sorry, you got Special Forces in Vietnam. The Kiwis in Vietnam. That's right, yeah. People forget about that. A lot of New Zealand and Aussies went to Vietnam, fought there. Oh God, there's too much to go into here. Oh, commandos, yay! Britain's first commandos. Thank God I wasn't kitted out like that. Although I actually do have those ammo pouches. and your noddy hat, your cat comforter. You know, that'll never go out of fashion. Never. Oh, with the Fairbairn Sykes Commando dagger. Blech. Did a video on that as well, if I remember rightly. Oh God. Churchill's Cutthroats. Which is the SBS. Awesome. Awesome. There's something else here. It's more fashion. Is it a crew jersey from the USS Cygnus? Or from the USS Palomino? Well, straight away, I can see that this came via Antarctica, because it is. Hey, what is it? What's the image there? What the hell is the image on that? Good Lord, that's freakish, isn't it? I've never seen that design before. It's the Thing, but whoa. There's sort of hand in hand sort of stuff taking place there. It's another hand coming out of an arm. So you've got one hand gripping another hand with ice crystals behind it. Ice, ice, baby. Fantastic. Yeah, I know. It's a very strange image, that. As the label itself does say. Can you read that? No, you can't. Unique. For every geek is unique. Brilliant stuff, mate. Thanks very, very, very much. I think we're done. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's just a label for that. For that t-shirt. So, folks, Darkseid, Scream, Infinity, Special Forces, The Thing, dinosaurs playing keyboards, and of course, Maximilian. Let's have another little look at this guy. Look at that. That is a big piece of plastic, isn't it? He's going to kick your ass. He's wonderful. So I've got yet more little ring tie things, tie binds to snip through. But I'll be back to do a video on that guy specifically and on those guys. So more black hole stuff coming. Yeah, as you can see, also available. But there they are. We've got them already. Maximilian. The USS Cygnus is perched precariously at the edge of a black hole, the vast empty nothingness where space and time end. Anything that crosses its border enters a universe of the complete unknown. A story of robots and humanoids, human genius and madness, and a spectacular descent into nature's ultimate mystery, the black hole. This action figure of Maximilian from the black hole features multiple points of articulation and interchangeable accessories, as well as a Cygnus diorama. Yeah, man. We're there. So, folks, super big thanks to Astradyne, your friend of mine. Astradyne, a traveller in time. Mate, many thanks. If I had some whiskey, I'd swig it right now. But I'm all out. Might be a dreg left. There always, yeah, there is. Whiskey slides back down again. People, oh, the bottle's empty now, or in a pub, they'll take the glass away from you. No. If it was lager or bitter, yeah, it's just a flotsam and jetsam. Take it away. Just my own spit and froth that's at the bottom of that glass. But whiskey slides back down, and you can get another, sometimes a bit more hefty than you might expect. Oh, well, I would have lost out if you took that away. Likewise with the bottles, it just slides back down. Like a dying man in the desert, with the last drop of water from his canteen. You keep the canteen, give me the bottle. Folks, I have been on with Shabby Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, in this ever snowy, sunny, oh, make your mind up in between time, please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. I am going to see you all. Bring leaders coming through a black hole near you soon.